It's really about habit. So, okay, so what I actually wanted to talk a little bit about today was starting new habits. So for the new year, I saw a yoga channel that I work out to. So I do yoga on a regular basis daily. I do yoga with Adrienne. So I do, she does YouTube videos, she posts them online, and she's having a 30-day yoga challenge that starts tomorrow, actually. So anybody who's interested in yoga, or even if you're sort of new to it, if you want to begin, we can do that together. I posted it on Facebook. Feel free to comment.
So this is a yoga.
Yeah, so it's yoga online, and she has millions of followers now. It's been years that she started a channel, and it's going to be a 30-day challenge where every day you do the video at the same time. Well, no, it doesn't have to be the same time, but the same video that everybody from around the world is watching. So like she has people all over the world. There's an app, you can comment, you can motivate each other, you can stay inspired. I messaged a couple of friends. At least one of them said yes, they're going to do it with me. So that's very fun. It's very inspiring. Oh, actually, my mom also said she was going to do it with me. So that's fun too. So the new year, like, when you think of the new year, it's really about daily choices. It's not about, okay, now 2021 is going to be the year. It's going to be the change. It's fun to get a little bit excited about that sometimes. Like, okay, I'm really going to put all my effort in. But when it comes down to it, it's like day-to-day efforts, right? It's moment-to-moment efforts. And like when I'm talking to clients or, dealing with myself, I really try and emphasize that it's like one moment after another, you have to choose again. And so what are you choosing on a regular basis? And when you start a new year, it's a good time to say, okay, I'm going to do something for 30 days, right? I'm going to do this thing for 30 days because people say it takes about 3 weeks to a month to create a new habit. So starting with something like yoga, I've been doing yoga every day now for many months. However, the last couple of months since the winter came and is like gloomy and stuff, I've been doing it every day, but some days I only do 5 minutes. Whereas I was doing 30 minutes, I was doing 25 minutes, I was doing 40 minutes. And lately I'm lower energy and it's taking more for me to like get up and get out, get out of bed and go right to the yoga mat, because that's like one of the first things I do. So it's taking more from me. And then when I saw the challenge, I was like, okay, on the challenge, they're mostly like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. And so it's going to get me to get back into the habit of doing it more regularly, pushing myself, committing to something that matters to me, So I think that when we're thinking of the future, it's what am I going to do every day, right? Try and choose something that you can do every day. And for everybody, it's different, right? For some people, it's, I have to drink a little bit more water, right? I need to drink a little bit more water to feel better in my body. Some people, it's, I'm going to do 2 hours of running or, like 5 hours of work, video like Peter does and stuff like
meditating or me, I sometimes I do a few minutes of practicing some magic tricks. I tried to do a magic trick on air yesterday and it just totally failed. So I got to practice some more. So one of the things about challenges, a 30-day challenge, is like, hey, what happens when I miss a day?
Yeah, exactly. So the person, one of my friends who I was talking to, she has a difficulty with feeling guilty if she doesn't finish something or complete something. And I completely get that, because when our past self made the decision to say, I'm going to do this thing, like we really wanted to, right? Like we were like, I'm committed, I can do it, right? You had all the motivation, you felt inspired. But then like the other moment happens in the future. That's the thing. It's like, it's every single moment there's a choice. Sounds like bad guru.
How was your day?
How was your day? Every single moment there's a choice.
It's important.
And so, she was talking about that sort of feeling of guilt. And to not feel guilty, it really is a choice. It's like this conversation that you want to have with yourself. And I myself regularly feel guilty, but then I catch myself putting myself down or saying, I didn't do this thing, it's bad, I'm not so good, I should have, and right, the should word, feeling that guilt. And what we have to do is sort of take a step back from ourselves, see ourselves talking about guilt, feeling bad, and saying, wait a second, is this actually going to make me motivated? Is this going to make me feel inspired? Is this going to make me feel good about myself and want to to move forward? Or is the feeling of guilt going to make me sort of crumble and fall into myself and just sit on the couch and eat the potato chips and the cake, you know?
Well, guilt is kind of like a spice, you know, talking about food. It's like, you certainly don't want to, you don't want to be the type of person who never feels guilt.
That's right.
It doesn't do anything to you. Guilt is information.
Because then you're never going to move forward if you don't feel the negative emotions.
But it's just that when putting a little salt on your food might be good. It might even be good for you, but you'll load that thing up with salt and then suddenly it's no longer good. Yeah. Guilt is kind of the similar thing. A sprinkle of guilt, right? You just want a pinch of guilt in order to remind you of what really matters, gives you the sting of yesterday, and then you move on.
That's right. And so the thing is, it's about moving on, right? So say somebody starts this yoga challenge or any other challenge. Like, I really encourage you to, like, if you're not going to want to do the yoga challenge, do maybe the meditation challenge of 30 days, the next 30 days, or the drinking of the water, or the playing of the cards, whatever. Like, choose something if you want to.
Don't play the cards. That's my thing. That's my thing.
Yeah. So imagine you don't do it one day, or you really don't feel like doing it. In that moment, you have a choice, right? Like, you have a choice to say, do I want to continue with the 30-day challenge today, or do I not? And like, you get to decide. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't want to do it today, and I'm going to go and do this other thing instead. And you can choose to, you know, still be productive with your day if you want. Like, if there's things that matter to you, you can say, I'm not going to be doing yoga, but I'm going to be going for a walk, right? Like, you get to sort of decide where you put your energy. And there's nothing wrong with also, I didn't do it, I ate potato chips, I feel bad. There's nothing wrong with you saying, okay, I didn't like that because I would have felt better probably if I did the yoga. But now, what am I going to do this next moment? What am I going to do this next moment? Okay, well, I'm going to do anything productive. I'm going to do anything that feels good to me, that moves me forward. That's the best way to sort of let go of the guilt, is like, I get to be better in this moment. I get to choose something good for me now. And the other moment is gone. It's done. I'm somebody who, for so long, I held on to that guilt and that putting myself down. And I still struggle with that, but I am so much better at, like, okay, move forward. Okay. But it takes effort. Like, it actually takes effort. But the more you do it, the better it becomes, the easier it becomes to shift, you know? So it's okay if you don't do the challenge.
I think, yeah, definitely. And I think it really takes an unwillingness to stew, you know, an unwillingness. It's not only that you want to be willing to change and be willing to do the good thing. You have to be unwilling to stay in your muck, right? To stay in the dark, to stay in that negative space. Yeah. And I feel like some people, they don't really get that, right? There's the willpower to do something, but then you also want to have this sort of you want to kind of feel like a disdain, a sort of a kind of disgust with staying in the dark, with staying in your misery, so that you kind of move yourself forward. Because I'm surprised by the number of people I meet who seem perfectly willing to beat themselves up. It's not just that they beat themselves up. They're willing to do it. They're willing participants. Yeah. They get some type of satisfaction from...
You get used to that feeling and feeling bad. And then it also gives you an excuse not to do the difficult thing. Like, that's for myself, that was the habits that I was in, is it sort of kept me just sort of blah. And then I didn't have the motivation to do the thing. And it was like, meh, whatever. Like, you just sort of give up, and then you like watch TV and forget about it.
And then tomorrow you're like, I'm not going to do it today because I didn't do it yesterday.
Yeah, but then it's such a negative spiral. It just brings you down. So if you're somebody who's at all interested in feeling better and feeling more inspired, you want to like cut it out as quickly as possible. Sort of snap yourself out of it. Like take a step back, you know, get out of like this trance, because that's sort of how it can feel to me sometimes, is like this trance of negativity.
Trance is a very powerful word. Yeah, that's true. If you really like Bad Guru Nightly, thank you so much for watching. We'll be on again. Make sure to subscribe over on Facebook and YouTube so you never miss another episode. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh.